Hi, today we're going to talk about the hero's journey again. You're going to use an interactive site by Read, Write, and Think in order to put together a basic outline of your story. First thing we want to do is we want to put your name up here. I'm just going to type mine in. And the project title. My character is named Amma. I'm going to call mine Amma. All right, the hero's journey. The hero's journey is an ancient story pattern that you can find in text from thousands of years ago or in newly released Hollywood blockbusters. This interactive tool will provide background on the hero's journey and give you a chance to explore several of the journey's key elements. Use the tool to record examples from a hero's journey you've read or viewed, or to plan out a hero's journey of your own. And you're going to plan out a hero's journey of your own. All right, so that's what you're going to be doing with this interactive activity. We're going to click Get Started. Introduction to the hero's journey. The hero's journey is a pattern that can be found in myths, stories, and legends from a range of cultures and time periods. From ancient Greece to modern Hollywood and anywhere beyond or in between, the hero's journey is an important archetype or basic original pattern from which many stories have been derived. Now we're going to talk about a few of those stories. Ancient heroes' journeys, such as the Odyssey by the Greek poet Homer, or the legends of King Arthur, were not composed with an awareness of this pattern. The hero's journey, as you'll experience it in this online activity, is largely the product of the scholarship of Joseph Campbell, who studied myth, stories, and religions from all over the world to find their common elements. More modern heroes' journeys, such as the Star Wars saga or The Lion King, were created with an awareness of the pattern and have been criticized for following the pattern too closely. This introduction to the hero's journey is not intended to be a step-by-step process for creating an unoriginal copy of an already existing story, nor is it detailed enough to cover every element of the journey that you may learn or read about. Click on the info button in the tool to learn more, or look over the other materials that are in your class. Regardless, understanding the basic components of the hero's journey is important because so many stories use it as a foundation. The hero's journey is also a great place to get inspiration for a story of your own. All right. The first thing they want you to do is they want you to name and describe the hero. When people describe a hero, they often use words such as honorable, brave, or strong. There's nothing wrong with these descriptions, but there is no certain way that every hero looks, thinks, or behaves. A hero can be young or old, male or female, shy or outgoing. Heroes do share a common function as symbols of the ideals and values of their communities and cultures. A hero learns something significant about the world and gains self-knowledge on his or her journey, returning to his or her community to share that enlightenment with others. All right? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to name and describe your hero, and you're going to type it here. And I'm going to go with Amma. And she's an orphan, and she lives in the village, but never feels comfortable there. And I probably should not type on this because look at my typos. But we're gonna let it go. All right. So we know she's an orphan. She's female. All right. You can type whatever you need to type here. When you're done, you're going to treat this like a clock and you're going to start at 12. All right. So the next thing you're going to click on would be this, the unusual birth. Oftentimes there are unusual circumstances surrounding the birth of a hero. The hero is frequently born to royalty or has a god or goddess as one of his or her parents. The hero is sometimes in danger at birth and needs to be hidden or disguised. For example, in the story of Jesus Christ, Christ is born as the Son of God to the Virgin Mary and is threatened with death by King Herod. Or consider Harry Potter, who was born to parents who were wizards and who narrowly escaped Voldemort's effort to kill him as a baby. And I wrote down some ideas for Amma here. I'm going to copy and paste it because we saw that me typing it in as we were going along didn't work too well. So her unusual birth. She was found in the river as a baby. Nobody knows who her parents are. She was guarded by a wolf pack until the village elder came and took her back to the village. So they don't know a lot about her birth. All right. Once we're done that, we're going to click on the next. The next is the call to adventure. Heroes can begin their journeys in a number of different ways, but usually a traumatic event occurs that leads to the hero wanting or needing to leave home. When the hero is called to leave home, he or she may refuse to leave at first, only to be convinced, tricked, or forced into leaving later. In other cases, the hero leaves willingly. Still other times, the hero begins the journey on accident. For example, Luke Skywalker from Star Wars is called into action by the distress message from Princess Leia and knows he can leave when his aunt and uncle are killed. In Mulan, Mulan willingly leaves home to fight in the battle against the invading Huns. All right? So you need to come up with that now. And I'm going to put a copy of my story in your class so you'll see all the information I put in. All right, after the call to adventure, we're going to move along on the clock. We're going to go to 2 o'clock here. And we need a supernatural helper now. The hero is usually aided by someone often old and wise with magical and mystical power. This figure serves as a guide and mentor as the hero embarks into a new world and faces challenges to his or her life and character. We have Rafiki serving this role to Simba in The Lion King. And we also have Ben Kenobi and Yoda in Star Wars, serving as the supernatural helper in those stories. After you come up with your supernatural helper, Amma's is going to be a white wolf, by the way. You're going to move on, and you're going to go into talisman or special weapon. The hero often has a weapon or protective device given to him or her that will be useful on the journey. The supernatural helper may be the one to give the hero the weapon or to tell him or her about it. In the Legends of King Arthur, the sword Excalibur serves this function. Okay, so now you need to come up with your talisman or special weapon. And Amma's going to have a pendant, a moonstone. All right, after you've got your talisman, you'll move along. And you're going to go here to crossing the threshold. At some point, the hero leaves the familiar safe world of childhood and home and enters fully into the world of the journey. Luke Skywalker in Star Wars experiences this disorientation among the aliens and the creatures at the spaceport in Mos Eisley. Mulan, pretending to be a boy, enters a new world at the all-male army camp. And Amma's going to leave the village, the quiet small village, and she's going to end up going into a city. So that's how she's going to cross her threshold, what she's used to. After crossing the threshold, you're going to go to trials. What sort of trials and tribulations will our hero be put through? The hero has to succeed a series of trials that challenge and build his or her moral strength and character. Typically, one of these trials involves a descent into the underworld, where the hero may experience a wound that cannot be healed. Shrek and many other heroes has to enter and escape a castle while defeating a dragon. And Hercules has a famous list of 12 trials as part of his hero's journey. All right, we're going to stop here, and then I'll do the rest of the blocks for you in the next video.